bad, he told us who did it. He told, it got back to the city that the guys that did it, it was like, yo, Big L did that.
I'm gonna go forward because the time is now. The time wasn't right then, you know what I'm saying? It was a little off time to time.
All of them to see Big L that he was gonna fight. He thought he would fight in your size, like the biggest in the world. He's like this. Yeah, I'm like, oh my. He was a big gambler. You know, Big L would gamble all the time, and you know, he would fight like big.
Start calling me, yo, in here that just took y'all watch or something, you know. And
Big L was the rapper everyone knew for his razor-sharp bars and wild storytelling skills, a true Harlem legend with a mic. But there's a side to Big L most people keep hush-hush. See, he wasn't just killing it in the rap scene. He had one foot in the booth and the other still deep in the streets. And trust, plenty of big names will tell you he was not the type to back down. If it came to throwing hands, he was ready. People would be like, yo, Big L really did that. Even when his rap career was heating up and the spotlight started chasing him, the streets were still calling his name. Coming up in Harlem, he rolled with a street crew called NFL, run by his older brother Big Lee. That life pulled him into a few situations that got real messy. One of the most talked about was his beef with Mace. And in 2024, Mace finally opened up about their rocky past on It Is What It Is. Both Big L and Mase repped Harlem to the core, coming up together in a gritty rap crew called Children of the Corn. The lineup was stacked. Cameron, Bloodshed, and Herb McGruff were all in the mix. The crew linked up in the early 90s, around 93. But even before that, L had already made noise in the underground, murdering mixtapes with punchlines so sharp they could cut glass. Then in 95, L dropped his debut album Lifestyles of the Poor and Dangerous, a project that earned him serious respect from critics in the streets. But just a year later, Mace switched lanes and inked a deal with Bad Boy Records. By 96, he blew up almost overnight, turning into a commercial superstar. That's when things between him and Big L started changing, and not in a good way.
Guy took us everywhere to rap, and then when I got on, it was like the whole wave changed. It was like, this is what it looks like when a really get.
Things started getting real strange once the fame hit. Mace explained, when I first got on, it was different. Before the spotlight, L was the one putting us on, taking us everywhere, to Bob O's, to any spot where we could spit. But when Mace blew up, the vibe shifted hard. That's when I saw what it looks like when a dude really gets on, he said. Suddenly, he and L were butting heads. Mace even claimed he caught Big L sliding some of his style into his own rhymes. He started using a few of my lyrics, different compounds I was using, Mace explained. That's when you make two words rhyme at the same time. So, Mace decided to check him about it, face to face. Yeah, syllables. But Mace says that talk didn't end on a friendly note. The tension stayed sky high, and things heated up fast. According to Mace, Big L wasn't trying to hear the criticism. Instead, he went and brought in backup. Mace claimed L called up Fat Joe, who was repping the Bronx as part of the legendary rap crew, DITC. Mace remembered it like it was yesterday. I told L, I'll knock you out. You know I know you, dude. Next thing I know, he went and got Fat Joe on me. He went and grabbed some Bronx dudes because he couldn't find nobody else. The scene hit a boiling point when Mace was in the tunnel, and Fat Joe rolled up on him, saying his piece.
Different compounds that I was using, that's when you make two words rap at the same time. So I checked the nigga.
Not just words, syllables.
Yes.
But that wasn't the last time their worlds collided. Then came another run-in. And this one was way more serious. Mace said he was back in Harlem, chilling with his childhood friend God Shamgod, who would later become an assistant coach for the Dallas Mavericks. They were just posted up in the neighborhood when out of nowhere, a stick-up went down. Give it up, I'm gonna kill both of you, the guy threatened. Mace played it cool, trying to buy time, slowly sliding his watch off before tossing it near a car tire. Then, he and Shamgod made a break for it. Luckily, the cops happened to be close by, catching the would-be robber not far from the scene, and they even recovered the watch. But what Mace heard next straight up shocked him. Not long after, He started getting calls from people he knew who were locked up in the same spot as the stick-up kid. They told him that during a brutal jailhouse beatdown, the guy let something wild slip. Big L had allegedly set the whole thing up. Fat Joe would later back that story in an interview, dropping his own angle on how it all went down. Joe said he also felt like L might have low-key lined him up. He remembered L stepping to him one night at the tunnel, saying there was some drama and he needed backup.
7th to 41st, and a Spanish just run out of nowhere like, yo, give it up, I'm gonna kill both.
And since Joe was cool with L through their DITC connection, he rolled in with his crew, ready to ride on whoever was causing the problem. But when Joe pulled up, he said the whole thing caught him off guard. The beef L needed help with. Turned out it was with Mace. Joe wasn't ready for that curveball. He stood there watching the two Harlem heavyweights trade words while L got heated and kept glancing at him, almost like he was signaling for Joe to jump in. Joe admitted that moment probably changed how Mace looked at him forever. From that day, he felt Mace never fully trusted him again. Looking back, Joe called it a foul situation, one he had no clue he was stepping into. And then there was the rumor-fueled tension between Big L and the notorious B.I.G. Not confirmed as an all-out beef, but packed with shady moments that had the streets buzzing. Before Biggie ever became the face of Bad Boy Records, there was a twist most people don't know. Apparently, D had his eye on signing Big L first. This was back in the early 90s, when D was still running things at Uptown Records, but by 92, Big L had already inked a deal with Colombia, so that door slammed shut. Not long after, D crossed paths with Biggie, and when he launched Bad Boy Records, Biggie rose up as one of the label's top stars. From there, Biggie's career shot into the stratosphere. Platinum hits, chart domination, the whole nine. But here's where it gets interesting. Besides both having Big in their names, Big L and Biggie had plenty in common. They were both lyrical assassins, respected kings of New York's rap scene, and both had solid ties to Jay-Z.
Crack, I need you. I said, yo, what's up? You know, Big L, my little brother. Yeah. I said, yeah, what's up? Nah. I got to holler at these.
Jay traded verses with Biggie on tracks like Brooklyn's Finest, but he also shared history with Big L, including that legendary 1995 Stretch and Bobbito freestyle. The back and forth was pure heat, and plenty of fans still swear Big L walked away with the crown that night. Biggie might have gone full mainstream while Big L kept it raw in the underground, but their worlds still crossed. Word is, Big L even opened up a few shows for Biggie on tour, proof there was at least some professional respect early on. But things started to get murky around the time Big L dropped his debut Lifestyles, Ove to Poor and Dangerous, in '95. One of the standout tracks was MVP, flipping DeBarge's Stay With Me into a street anthem. Not long after, Biggie came with One More Chance, using that very same sample. Some fans, and even insiders, claim Biggie's joint might have been inspired, if not straight up influenced, by MVP. L never addressed it publicly, but the whispers started. They say the tension wasn't necessarily between Big L and Biggie themselves, it was between their crews. That's when things allegedly turned heavy. Big L's older brother, Big Lee, had a close friend in the streets named Reg, a Harlem NFL affiliate with serious connections, including ties to big street names like Black Just from the Supreme Team. Word on the block is that Reg crossed paths with a junior MAFIA member at a local Chinese spot, and things went left quick. Supposedly, Reg hit him with a hard body shot to lock him up, then pulled the strap and snatched his chain. The wild twist? That chain was rumored to be the same one Biggie rocked during his cameo on Martin.
Yo, Jay, man, that Jay need to get up to Big L anytime.
After that, Junior MAFIA was hot and out for payback, hitting the streets looking for Reg to get it back. But Reg wasn't folding. According to Street Talk, he told them, if they wanted it, they'd have to come take it in blood. It was open season for anyone bold enough to try. Back then, the Tunnel nightclub was the Sunday night hotspot in NYC, and Big L was always in the mix. Sources say he'd sometimes hit up Reg to borrow a chain, likely to keep his image sharp. And the rumor? Some nights, L was rocking the very chain taken from Junior MAFIA, possibly Biggie's own. But at the end of the day, beyond all the street whispers and chaos, what truly set Big L apart was his unmatched talent and love for the craft. Big L's love for the craft was real, and you could hear it in every single bar he dropped. That passion is what earned him genuine respect in the game. Born Lamont Coleman on May 30th, 1974, in Harlem, New York, he was the youngest of three in a family that had its share of struggles. His father walked out when L was just a kid, leaving his mother to hold it down for him and his two older brothers on her own. They lived packed into a small two-room apartment on 139th Street and Lenox Avenue, a spot that would go down as a key landmark in Big L's legacy. Growing up, folks called him Little L, since he was the baby of the family. But even as a kid, he carried a certain spark. One life-changing moment came when his older brother, Donald Z, took him to see Run DMC tear it up at the Beacon Theater. And from that night on, L's path started to take shape. L was just 7 years old, but that night burned itself into his memory. Watching Run DMC shut down the stage lit a fire in him, making him think one day, that could be me. By 12, Big L was fully hooked on hip-hop, spending endless hours bumping tracks, breaking down lyrics, and freestyling with the neighborhood crew. This wasn't just some after-school hobby, it was an obsession that grew stronger every single day. In 1990, at just 16, he started putting pen to paper, building his rhymes, and sharpening his style. That same year, he linked with two friends, Doc Ream and Rodney, to form his first rap group, 3 the Hard Way. But the grind wasn't equal. L was locked in, while his friends weren't moving with the same hunger. When Rodney bounced, the crew flipped into Too Hard Mother S, but that didn't last either. Still, those early days gave L priceless lessons about staying focused and never letting up. By summer 1990, his journey was already in motion. Big L's life hit a turning point when he crossed paths with Lord Finesse, a rapper and producer already making serious noise in the hip-hop scene. They met at an autograph signing at a record shop on 125th Street, and L, never one to miss a shot, decided to drop a freestyle right there on the spot. Finesse was so impressed, he handed L his number, a move that would later swing open major doors for the young Harlem MC. At the same time, L was juggling school with his rising rap ambitions. He went to Julia Richmond High School, where his skills kept leveling up. By the time he graduated in '92, his name was already ringing out in Harlem. He was a battle machine, rhyming in the hallways, shutting down street corners, and lighting up house and block parties with his freestyles. L once looked back on those early grind days saying, "In the beginning, all I ever saw myself doing was battling everybody on the street corners, rhyming in the hallways, beating on the wall, rhyming to my friends. Every now and then, a house party, grab the mic, a block party, grab the mic." By '92, Big L was leveling up, recording demos that would later land on his iconic debut, Lifestyles, Ove Da Poor and Dangerous. That same year, he popped up on Yo MTV Raps with his mentor Lord Finesse to promote Finesse's return of the Funky Man. His first real taste of professional shine came when he jumped on the remix of Yes You May, the B-side to Finesse's track Party Over Here. Not long after, he scored his first album feature on Represent from Showbiz and AG's Runaway Slave. These moves were just the warm-up to a meteoric rise. Around that time, L's skills were untouchable. He stepped into a freestyle battle hosted by Nubian Productions and crushed nearly 2,000 other MCs to walk away with the top prize. That win only confirmed what Harlem had been saying. Big L was a straight-up lyrical heavyweight. By '93, Columbia Records came calling, signing him and officially kicking off his push into the mainstream. Not long after, he dropped his first promo single, Devil's Son. L called it one of the first real horrorcore tracks, inspired by his love for horror flicks and the gritty realities he saw growing up in Harlem. The song turned heads with its dark edge, but L made it clear he wasn't trying to be boxed into one lane. His strength was versatility. He could body any style. That same year, Big L brought together some of Harlem's rawest talent to form the crew Children of the Corn, COC, featuring future stars like Cameron aka Killa Cam, Mace, aka Murder Mace, Bloodshed, and McGruff. The crew was making noise and building a rep, but tragedy struck in '97 when Bloodshed lost his life in a car accident, a blow that slowed COC's momentum. Back in '94, Big L had dropped his second promo single, I Shoulda Used a Rubber, a cautionary tale laced with his sharp wit and vivid storytelling. By '95, he unleashed his debut album Lifestyles of Day Poor and Dangerous, debuting at number 149 on the Billboard 200 and climbing to number 22 on the top R&B hip-hop albums chart. The project gave us classics like Put It On and MVP, both hitting on Billboard's Hot Rap Tracks list. Even though it wasn't a massive commercial smash, Lifestyles stamped Big L as one of the most dangerous lyricists in the game. His punchlines cut deep, and his wordplay was on another level. But behind the scenes, there was friction. Disputes over creative control had him parting ways with Colombia by '96. L later admitted he felt out of place there, surrounded by execs who didn't really get his vision or his sound. Still, losing a major label deal didn't slow him down. Big L wasn't about to hit the brakes. By '97, he was already cooking up his second studio album, The Big Picture. That same year, he linked with the Diggin' in the Crates crew, DITC, making waves in on the Go magazine and teaming up with members like OC on heaters such as Dangerous. In '98, he even hit Europe with OC, opening for his Jules tour and showing international crowds exactly what Harlem had to offer. Not waiting on any label to give him the green light, L launched his own independent imprint, Flamboyant Entertainment. His mission was crystal clear: deliver pure, uncut hip-hop without leaning on mainstream gimmicks, pop samples, or R&B hooks. Under Flamboyant, he dropped the iconic Ebonics, a masterclass track breaking down African-American vernacular English with his trademark wit and precision. Ebonics got love from the source, earning a spot as one of the top 5 independent singles of the year, another stamp proving Big L was a lyrical genius. Around then, Dame Dash, CEO of Rockefeller Records, spotted his talent and came with an offer. L was down, but he had one condition: his crew had to come with him. By February 1999, he was in the process of signing to Rockefeller alongside Herb McGruff, C-Town, and Jay-Z, moving together as a collective called the Wolf Pack. It looked like Big L was finally about to hit the massive mainstream success he'd been chasing. But before those dreams could turn real, tragedy struck, and the world lost one of Harlem's greatest voices far too soon. Rest in peace to Big L. And if you want more stories like this, make sure you hit that subscribe button and drop a like on this video.